It's election eve, and candidates, they are slinging their Hail Mary pitches as voters storm the polls. But hold the phone. In Jersey, Trump-backed Jack Ciattarelli, he gets the ultimate mic drop moment that leaves him in tears. Then over in the big rotten apple, mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani's moonshot hits turbulence as an Islamist activist spills the beans on who's really greasing his multi-million-dollar war chest. And then there's Kamala Harris, giving a recent interview that has everybody asking, is she high? Is she drunk? Is she both? Honestly, I'm still trying to decide. Hopefully you can help me out here. And in a total 180, Gavin Newsom, who's been teasing a 2028 run, now swears he's not running, right after pushing a redistricting power grab. We're going to unpack every twist, starting with Newsom's NBC meltdown over his social media antics. Charlie Kirk, he called it months ago. Classic TDS. Smash like if you're voting tomorrow. Sub for live results, and welcome. Let's dive in. Here's Gavin absolutely imploding after being called out for his Trump-like tweets.
Part of your tactic is to imitate some of what we see online from President Trump. So you mimic his all-cap posts, you send out similar memes. Do you run the risk of normalizing that behavior?
Quite the contrary. The whole expression was to not allow it to be normalized. It was becoming normalized. All this, the normalization of deviancy across the spectrum of issues. But his communication, he's dressing up as the Pope, as Superman. Hold on, he's putting his face on Mount Rushmore. He's saying, thank you it's madness. And so I put a mirror up to that madness.
Oh, the panic. It's glorious. Every meltdown, every copycat post, every triggered rant is pure oxygen for Trump's fire. See, Newsom thought he was fighting the meme war, but he just became the meme. Trump's laughing. You know the internet's laughing. And California, we are still going up in flames here. If you can't beat him, maybe Gavin thought he could become them, except with slicker hair and a $68 billion deficit. I mean, this is classic TDS terminal stage. Now, the pressure campaign by Kristen Welker, it didn't end there for Gavin Newsom. Take a look.
It reminds me of something Michelle Obama said once. When they go low, we go high. Is there still room for that mindset?
I would love to go back to that, but politics have changed. The world's changed. The rules of the game have changed. Now we have to rewrite the new rules. I'm trying to iterate. I'm in that process of doing that.
Rewrite the rules? That's Democrat for rig the game. See, Prop 50 is Newsom's nuclear gerrymander, letting a Democrat-controlled commission redraw districts in a state already carved up like a Thanksgiving turkey, all to lock in supermajorities and bury Trump's 2026 map. He's not going high. He's going full banana republic. And Michelle Obama's quote, dead on arrival. The only high here is the high horse he rode in on while torching every norm he claims to defend. The rules, only when he writes them and then erases them. Now, after all this, the guy who can't seem to keep his story straight, here's what he just said last week.
Is it fair to say, after the 2026 midterms, you're going to give it serious thought?
Yeah, I'd be lying otherwise. I'd just be lying, and I can't do that.
He'd be lying if he said he wasn't interested in running, and he would never lie. Really? Because here's what the governor said just days later.
Governor, let me ask you. Why do you want to be president?
I don't. I'm not suggesting I am. I'm saying in response to someone talked about it, and I hate when nothing I dislike more than the politician that sits there and lies to you. And we all just sit there rolling our eyes going, give me a break.
Gavin, look in the mirror. Your national tours, your DeSantis debate, your anti-Trump book, and that Prop 50 power grab all scream White House wannabe. Quitting? Please. He's not quitting. He's just saying whatever fits the moment. And his lies right now, they're starting to pile up faster than traffic on the 405 in LA. Remember when Gavin Newsom told Charlie Kirk this?
Literally last night, trying to put my son to bed. He's like, no, Dad, what time? What time's Charlie gonna be here? What time? And I'm like, dude, you're in school tomorrow. He's 13. He's like, no. This morning, wakes up at 6 something. He's like, I'm coming. I'm like, he literally would not leave the house.
Did you let him take off school?
No, he did. Of course not. He's not here for a good reason. But the point is
you canceled school for like 2 years. One day.
The point is the point, which is you are making a damn dent.
And now that Charlie Kirk is no longer here to call him out, he has the audacity to now say this.
Your son, obviously a fan of Charlie Kirk. What was the conversation like between you and your son after Charlie Kirk was assassinated?
Well, he called me, I don't know how he got a phone, but he called me from school that day, really alarmed. And all his friends were around the phone that wanted me to somehow express or understand what was going on. He wanted to know if he was dead. He wasn't a fan of him as much as he was familiar with him.
If you watch my show religiously, you know how I feel about this man. There is nothing honest about him. Remember COVID? While the rest of us were locked down at home with our kids, he was dining in fancy restaurants and sending his kids off to private school every day. That's the definition of elite hypocrisy. Here's what Charlie Kirk had to say after sitting down with Gavin Newsom for the first time.
He is the fakest person I think I've ever met in my entire life. So synthetic. And honestly, that's very dangerous, like incredibly dangerous. Like he's the type of person that could just like stare at you like, oh yeah, I voted for Trump, and just like pass a lie detector test. That is very, very dangerous. You know, just stone cold, just like no inhibitions whatsoever when it comes to deceit or lying or misleading. But again, Gavin wants to be president. So this is him trying to recover from, you know, the damage that he got after the podcast I had with him.
Charlie was spot on, exposing Newsom's pathological lying as a national security risk if this fraud ever slithers into the White House. The guy's ambition is his only truth. He flip-flops on everything from presidential runs to his son's fandom. And it's dangerous. Imagine that deceit running the country. Republicans, they're seizing on the moment. Watch this.
This is the classic gaslighting that Democrats do. It's like some sort of voodoo, magic wand stuff, MIB, flashy thingy, where we're supposed to just believe whatever they say. It is the weirdest thing ever. And it's just blatant lying. And that's what just makes me disgusted. Like, every time I take a I think of Gavin Newsom.
The Democrats have lost the ability to be honest, to be authentic, or even meet voters halfway. Instead, they're panicking and doubling down on chaos. Take California, for example. Katie Porter, she was seen handing out free stuff to young voters that are waiting in line to vote at UC Irvine. This is in Gavin's state. And apparently, this is normal. This is exactly why California Democrats oppose letting anybody monitor their polling locations. And then in New York City, a Democrat was illegally campaigning for Zohran Mamdani right outside a poll site that had a sign that said no electioneering. And with voter ID not required, it's basically an invitation to game the system.
I'm here in New York, about to illegally vote for Zohran Mamdani 6 times. Yeah, 6.
And yet Democrats have the audacity to accuse Republicans of cheating. Republicans fight for election integrity and voter ID. Meanwhile, the far left is handing out ballots like candy while foreign money pours right into all their campaigns. We'll get to more on that in just a few. Now, if you ask Kamala Harris why she thinks the Democrats will win tomorrow, she's going to try and tell you it's because the Democrat Party is full of stars. Lots of them. I'm not sure what planet she's on, but clearly it's not Earth.
We have so many stars in our party. There are so many stars. And let's not be afraid of them. You talk about Mamdani. I mean, he's exciting this group of people who otherwise don't think of themselves as being aligned or a part or even seen by the system. You just look at the range of what we have. So many. Jasmine Crockett, who I just talked to recently. I mean, we have so many stars.
She's right. They've got stars all right. But notice she didn't mention results, ideas, or, functioning policies. Just vibes and celebrity endorsements. Democrats don't run a party anymore. They run a production studio full of stars, scripts, and applause lines. Just no director and definitely no plot. As for Jasmine Crockett, she must be sipping off Kamala's bottle because she thinks Republicans love her.
I remember a father coming up to me and telling me, I appreciate you for doing this competition. My daughter loved participating. I am a Republican, but I love you. I have been in all kinds of cities and airports and otherwise where people walk up to me and of course they don't have an R on their forehead, but they tell me that they have a difference when it comes to politics, but they love me.
No, Jasmine, Republicans don't love you. That I can assure you. But if you want to live in fantasy land, go right ahead. And while she's doing that, let's talk about the races happening across the nation that are being watched closely. Let's begin in New York City. Here's a quick look at the 3 candidates running for mayor.
I want to make city government a light of its own that people across this city feel at all hours of this day. Let them feel The light of City Hall when their late night bus home is faster and freer and safer too.
I'm the people's mayor. It seems everyone in this campaign says we all love Curtis like we love Raymond, the TV program.
Socialism didn't work in Venezuela. Socialism didn't work in Cuba. Socialism is not going to work in New York City. New Yorkers want change. I can bring the change and make the change.
Mamdani's obviously favored to win this race. Now, according to Atlas Intel polls, which, by the way, they were the ones that nailed the presidential race, they give Mamdani a 4.5-point lead over Andrew Cuomo. Curtis Lewa, he's trailing considerably behind, and if he had dropped out, maybe this race would be a much different story. But here we are. Now, what's concerning to me is the poll just released by Gallup. It shows socialism is seeing a surge among Democrats. Look at this. The poll shows the party appears to have a more positive view of the ideology, with support growing to 66%. Now, on the flip side, you're going to be happy to hear, capitalism, it's still winning when it comes to the Republican Party, with 74% viewing it positively, and it's less than half for Democrats. You would think they would have learned their lesson after losing to Donald Trump twice, but no, they just keep moving farther and farther to the left. In fact, here's a little fun fact for you. Democrats haven't had above 50% popularity since Bill Clinton, but I guess instead of meeting voters where they are, which is in the middle, they're going to double down on their stupid. So here's one of their own. A Democrat voter in New York City describing why she is voting for Zohran Mamdani.
One of the reasons I moved here is because I wanted to be surrounded by people who are not like me. I wanted to hear 7 different languages every day when I walk down the street. And I'll speak for myself personally. I hope that our next mayor will be somebody who can protect our way of life here in New York and protect and fight for the things that we want and stand up to those who want to take things away from us.
If you want diversity of languages, go live in another country. America is the best nation in the world because of our founding principles, not because we're trying to imitate somewhere else. Now, the shocking part here, Mamdani's rise was heavily bankrolled by a Muslim organization. Here's Linda Sarsour admitting how it all went down.
The story is not just that it's random that Zohran ascended to this place. It is our Muslim American communities. And I'll also say that it's Muslim money. The PACs that have supported Zohran, or a particular PAC that has supported Zohran, is probably over 80% of Muslim American donors in this country. High net donors, grassroots donors. And I want to make the point that the Unity and Justice Fund PAC, which is the CARE Super PAC, was the largest institutional donor to the pro-Zohran PAC in New York.
Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar, CARE is the Council on American Islamic Relations, a Muslim civil rights organization. And here's the bottom line in all of this. The foreign influence money that is shaping our local politics, it's dangerous, and left-wing radicals are exploiting it. And it's not just in New York. It's actually happening in Minneapolis, too. Check out this rally, because this is exactly what a rally in America should never sound like.
Congresswoman at the Shane.
Yeah.
See that I can the haddaba Umar waa ka xumahayo Virginia qaboobaa lagu dhalay laakiin se waan adopt gareynay siidarna wax badan ma joogine.
That's a rally in full Arabic for Omar Fattah, who's running to be mayor in the city of Minneapolis. His rally on Halloween night didn't look much different.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Aad iyo aad aan ugu faraxsanahay caawa in xafladan oo dhammaan dadkay iskugu wada yimideen aad iyo aad aan ugu faraxsanahay in maxaa la dhahaa ii sheeg Umar Fattah aan u taageero inuu noo noqdo duqa magaalada Minneapolis.
We cannot and must not allow these radicals to burrow into the heart of our government, turning American cities into outposts of socialism and anti-American grievance. Omar, he wants to push $20 minimum wages that crush small businesses. And he wants to block police from cooperating with ICE. That invites chaos and open borders into the heartland. Mamdani, he vows to arrest Netanyahu, and he wants to peddle rent freezes and free everything that would bankrupt the Big Apple under a socialist cloud. These are not leaders. They're infiltrators peddling division, defunding our cops, and prioritizing illegals over American citizens. The good news is, there is hope in New Jersey. This race is probably the closest one to watch. Now, Atlas Intel has this one neck and neck, giving Mikey Sherrill the slight edge in the race. She's been slowly losing ground as Jack Ciattarelli has been gaining a little bit of momentum here. This is a state that President Trump received over 46% of the vote in 2024. This is also a state that hasn't seen 3 straight Democratic administrations in over a century. So if Mikey Sherrill were to win, she would break that streak. Now, this morning on the campaign trail, Jack Ciattarelli, he faced an unexpected surprise, one that left him speechless. Watch this.
This is an honor for what I'm going to say right now, that you don't know what I'm going to say right now. But your biggest supporter that serves this country just came over overnight to serve you. Who's here? Jake, your father, your son. What he probably forgot to do, because he's been so busy defending our nation, he probably forgot to get in his vote by mail ballot. He's here to vote. Oh, good stuff.
If that doesn't warm your heart, I don't know what will. This is Ciattarelli's 3rd time running for governor in the Garden State. We will see what voters decide tomorrow. We will be watching closely. Finally, let's pivot to Virginia, where Democrat Abigail Spanberger is trying to hold a 10-point lead against Republican Winsome Earl-Sears. Now, both are leaving nothing on the field in these final hours.
Both candidates spending some time in the Richmond area today. An hour ago, Abigail Spanberger kicked off an event with students at Virginia Commonwealth University, while Earl-Sears, earlier joined by the entire top of the GOP ticket, plus Governor Glenn Youngkin, attended a diner meet and greet, preparing pancakes and pouring coffee.
We are not leaving anything on the field, right? We're going to be exhausted tomorrow because we're going to win.
Tomorrow, it's not just a vote. It's a choice between sanity and chaos, between leadership and fantasy, between keeping America strong or letting radicals reshape it. So go vote, pay attention, and make your voice heard, because if we don't, the chaos you've seen today could become the new normal. Now, coming up next, the reason behind the shutdown, Democrats finally admitting what we all knew all along. CNN even pushing back and telling the Democrats it's time to open the government. Go ahead, click on that video you see now on your screen, and I'll see you over there. Thanks for watching. Happy Monday, everybody. I'll see you back here tomorrow.